Good morning, everybody. It's Perseverance Wednesday, and it's the 1st of July. Can't hardly believe that we're now well into the year. This is well, I had fun and games, shall we say, on Monday, when I turned out that I wasn't live. Well, I was live, but I was talking to myself. So my settings showed that, and somebody suggested I check out my settings, so I did. And hopefully now they are live to everybody to watch and listen. So thanks for that. At least it was a learning curve, so that's quite apt for today's topic, perseverance. So now that I'm alive, I'm live to everybody. This is now number 67 actually of the live videos. I started from March doing them daily, and then in June changed them to 3 times a week, and I'll continue throughout July. But I am hoping to move to offering videos maybe weekly. I haven't decided on the time yet, but that's to help people realise that they can create the life they want and realise their true potential. Now for a bit of marketing spiel, and I'm not very good at this. I'm going to kind of try and take a leaf out of some of the Americans' book. I'm too backwards sometimes in coming forward regarding selling my products or services. People say, oh, you're really good at sort of selling yourself. I do love talking, as you all probably realise now, having listened to me. But Mind Circles is a business, and I've been progressing with the website. So, and I want to kind of keep marketing now because I'm launching my book soon. So please sign up to join my Mind Circles community. It is free to join, and you'll get information on what I'm doing and what products and services I offer. Of particular interest to my many people, my followers, are my Mind Bites mindful meditations, and they've got calming music, and according to feedback from many, for which I thank you, my soothing voice accompanies this. So head off to mindcircles.co.uk, and you can click on the join my Mind Circles community. You can also click on the shop to see what I do offer, and it just gives you a flavour of what I think is important, because I have a passion for mental health matters, and it's extremely important to understand the power of the mind. So, perseverance. I've certainly persevered with my Mind Circles business over the years, and it's the key really to success, to your success. Now, perseverance does not mean that you don't succeed, or, I mean, people who succeed often have many failures. And one example is, I think, Thomas Edison. I think it was about 10,000 or more times he took till he found the electric light bulb that he actually invented. And when he was asked, he said, well, you've had so many failures. He said, no, I don't fail. I identified 10,000 ways that it did not work. So it was a good way to look at it. So perseverance means not giving up on the first attempt, second, or even more than that. So think of other people who've achieved things. I mean, Marie Curie, I think she wouldn't find success immediately. So when you want to get that new job or that promotion or succeed actually in your business, you will be faced by many challenges. Life is not easy. Life throws challenges at us all the time, and when we least expect it. So remember, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, it's from your greatest challenges that you find your greatest strengths. This is because challenges are thrown at us for lessons that we've got to learn. It's a learning process, and you learn from your mistakes. More than any of your achievements, you learn from your mistakes. I mean, sadly, it's maybe changing slightly, but in the UK, if you fail in business or you're bankrupt, you're seen as, oh, well, you know, we don't want to deal with them. Now, Americans actually have a different attitude. They think, well, my goodness, they've failed, but they will have learned a lot. So if you persevere, they will want to deal with you and connect with you. So what kind of person are you? You can ask yourself some questions, and these could be, do you persevere or do you quit? Do you give up when you hit a problem or a challenge? Do you give up if you're rejected for that job or that promotion? Or do you just quit? Well, one quick way to learn is through the affirmations, the A of my ABC. And one way to check if you're a persister is ask yourself if you say any of these affirmations. Don't worry if you don't. You can start doing it now. And I think from feedback, many of you are saying they do use my ABC daily and they're finding sort of their life is turning around. If you think positively, positive things come to you. If you think negatively, often negative things then come to you. It's, I suppose, like the law of attraction. So some affirmations you could say are, I persist no matter what the challenges are. Or maybe simply saying, I believe in myself. Another one is, I set clear goals. Another one could be, I bounce back from disappointments. Another simple one is, I am flexible. Another one is, I focus and complete tasks and projects. So you can use all or any of these at any time. And some tips for persevering. Here goes. You've got to know why you want a goal. When you set any goals or any tasks, make sure that you base it on your purpose, your needs, and your abilities. Know how you and others will benefit if you achieve that goal. Know what resources you need. Now, this doesn't just mean material things, finances, individuals, or time. You need to know what strategies you're going to do to reach that goal. And sometimes it takes, for me, I had a vision of my passion was to help people create or realise their true potential. My goodness, it's years ago now. But I've never given up. And often people say, why are you bothering? But I still have that passion in me and I will bother and I like doing it. So it's now I just keep going and keep going. So you need to know these strategies and how you're going to go about it. And of course, I've had to change over the time. So you have to stay positive in the face of challenges that come your way. It helps, and I've talked about it before, it helps if you keep a written journal, just maybe a diary of things, and keep them, write down your positive experiences. And that's where your aspiration or your inspiration board comes in. If you have this to hand all the time, you can look at it and think, in a down moment, you think, I realise I reached that sort of goal and there's the next one. And your aspiration board, it might take years. As I said before, I started mine many years ago, still have it, and I add to it. So it's like having your bucket list, really. And of course, we've talked throughout the lockdown, some people started a jar with things in it. You can do it any way you want, but it's to have these positive, staying positive in the face of everything that is hitting you at the moment. We've talked, I think, recently too, over these videos, don't dwell on the past and don't worry about the future. Try and live in the now. Try not to get so attached to something that you're held back because of the fear of losing it. Now, in my book, 7 Attributes for Success, I called this detachment. It was about detaching yourself from something that is holding you back. And that can happen from jobs, it can happen from relationships. People are frightened. I'm frightened of going it alone. They'll even stay maybe in abusive relationships because of fear, lots of things. You might be frightened of losing your job. And what happens is, with redundancies and other things, people who have that, they're not afraid. They actually see that as an opportunity. Others can sink under it all. And of course, it's very, very difficult. It means that they've become so attached. People are sometimes in jobs for years that they actually hate. They don't like their job. And yet I don't know what will happen. And sometimes, for those who are afraid, if redundancies or the firm closes down, people who are afraid can sort of sink for a while. They need to pull themselves up. Others are actually, some of them are relieved. They're like, thank goodness, I can now look for something new. So it was difficult. It's detachment was a difficult word for people to understand in my last book. So in my new book, which is Resilience and Courage, the Key to Endurance, I've changed that word to calling it interdependence. Now this, I think, is maybe more understandable. It's helping people understand that you shouldn't be so dependent on something that you'll be frightened if you lose it. The job, the situation, or the person in the relationship. But don't also be so independent that you don't sort of seek guidance or support when you need it. So it's finding this balance. It's finding the balance and becoming interdependent. I mean, really, as humans, we all have that kind of social need. We are social beings. So, of course, it's got to be trusted people, but just try and think about being more interdependent in life, knowing when you need to be dependent, when you need to be independent. The next thing for perseverance is don't wait for others to encourage you. Encourage yourself. Acknowledge everything you've achieved and don't just change yourself because others are telling you to. Don't compare yourself to others unless, of course, they're perhaps successful people or somebody you admire or somebody you look up to. But don't change to be like them, but learn from them. Another tip for perseverance is, and I've had to do this constantly in trying to progress Mind Circles, is be innovative and creative. Try new experiences. Now, for me, I had visions of a mental health app many years ago. People thought I was absolutely nuts. The internet will be a 7-day wonder. It'll never work. Now, kind of what held me back actually were finances, and people at the time, it was at the dot-com sort of boom, and people didn't want to invest in things that were internet based. Now, life has changed, and some of the services or the software that you need has reduced in price. But I have a fabulous chap, I call him Walter. He does exist. People think he's a figment of my imagination, but he's wonderful at sourcing things that help Mind Circles to progress without actually massive amounts of money, which has been really, I can't thank him enough for that. It's very, very important. That's kind of part of my resources. So most of all, of course, throughout all of this and all my videos and everything I talk about is you need to look after your mind and body. Your mind most of all. Plenty of people work out, their physical workouts, they're always running, jogging, an hour of, it's fabulous if they can do it. Now, I deal with lots of people who are in their 80s and 90s. There's no way they're going to be jogging for 26k, but they still go walks if they can. But the people who I admire and I look up to and their brain is still active are those who use their brain. They use their mind. It's absolutely wonderful. And I can see the difference when I'm dealing with people from all walks of life and all ages. The ones who are positive are the ones just who they attract people to them, and they're wonderful to be with and connect with. So use your mind, of course, you can use my C of my ABC. That's the creative imagery. Use your creative imagination. Take yourself anywhere. Imagine yourself achieving that goal. I mean, I still visualize every day. I imagine that Mind Circles is round the world. It's successful. And yes, I hope it to bring me financial success, but most of all, inner success, the satisfaction of helping everyone help themselves. Again, I can't change other people. I can only change myself. So if I give people the tools, the tips and tools to do that, the ones who use it are the ones who are helping themselves. So use all 5 senses. I think in one of my meditations I do is how to visualize, how to use your creative imagination. And the reason I changed from using the word visualize was, visualize often means like to see. Now, I realized on speaking to lots of people that not everyone does see when they're imagining. Some people use other senses. So use the one that suits you. So when you're trying to achieve something, feel it, touch it, smell it, hear it, use all your senses, and you will find the one that suits you, or you will use all of them, and it's absolutely wonderful. Close your eyes and it only takes minutes. You don't need to do a half hour or an hour of something. 5 minutes, I can close my eyes now and I see mind circles it's where I want it to be. Persist. So that's the perseverance. Just persist. Keep positive. Ask yourself, what are you doing to move yourself forward? So always keep positive. Remember, the key to inner success and inner happiness is to change your mindset. The mind is extremely powerful and you need to use it, and you can do that by using the positive affirmations, the deep breathing, which brings energy into the body, and you can release tension when you're exhaling, and use your creative imagination, that C of ABC, to hold that goal, the end result, the gold medal. You're holding it in your hand now. So when you make my ABC a good habit, that means filling your mind with positive thoughts on a daily basis. Your confidence will increase, your self-esteem will increase, and don't let negative people hold you back. There are many out there. We've had it recently. I was chatting to a young friend, and somebody had said, "Oh, they're not going to be agreeing to her doing something." And some people can't understand this. I couldn't understand it. Many years ago, I said now she's my best friend really, and she's like 93 now. And she used to say to me, "People are jealous." And I thought, what are they jealous of? Some of them could have bought and sold me, But she said, no, they're jealous of your ability to be happy, to be positive. And people want to they'd love to buy that. And of course, there isn't really any way of buying it. Yes, you could buy my wee tools, yes, but you need to use them. And I think that's the main thing. But I've never really been jealous of people or envious of people. Sometimes you think, oh, well, I wish I had that. But it's fleeting. So I would always try and, if a student or a colleague is successful, I love to promote them. I'm so delighted that they're moving ahead in life. And that's what we need to be. It's promoting and helping others, not hold them back, saying, oh, well, I wouldn't be doing that. I mean, so many people over the years have said to me, get a real job. And I thought, well, maybe I could. But then I'm somebody who's not very good at just working a 9 to 5. I work all hours. I can do like a 40-hour day, to know what I mean. So I'm happy. It means that I don't have maybe regular income, but I focus on, as one door closes, another door opens, not just a window. Well, maybe the window opens as well. So keep that sort of positivity there. And another thing is, don't let time hold you back. That's the number of times I hear people say, oh, there's not enough hours in the day. There's not enough hours in the day. So why start? I don't have enough time to do this. So why bother? Of course, there's never going to be enough time if you have that sort of attitude. So don't do it, just start, even if it's a couple of minutes of something. And I've been started doing, and I'm going to stick to it because I'm going to persevere, but I found an exercise which means I don't actually exercise at all. This is absolutely ridiculous, but it's a Japanese technique where you lie on the floor with a towel under your waist on your back, and it's supposed to kind of stretch it helps with your posture. And you put your arms above your head, but it's with your hands, not back that way, but that way with your pinkies. Try it, it's quite actually tense, and your legs kind of like almost hen-toed, holding them. And you have to do that for 5 minutes. And they say that your posture and everything will improve if you do this every day. And what's my rule? 30 days. So I'm going to do it. I'm on my 4th day and I've stuck with it. So I will tune in to all of you and let you know. I might be able to show off my trim waist after this. We'll see. But it's interesting that all these things show that something to be good has to be a habit. You have to create this as a habit. So The other thing is, don't be afraid of failing. So if I fail in that exercise, I just start again. I start my day as if my first 30 days is starting again. You see, failing goes hand in hand with success. As I've said earlier and before, I'm like a broken record, but you learn from your mistakes. So be like Edison. Say to yourself, have this sort of affirmation: I don't fail. I just found lots of ways that didn't work, but I persist until it does work. So no matter what your goal is, you can say that to yourself. So another affirmation for today, because I love ending with you, starting and ending with them. Of course, we're still in this pandemic, so it's really important that we thank all the frontline workers, all the people who are still worried about the coronavirus, and we don't know whether there's now going to be pockets of areas have to be in lockdown again. So stay well and stay safe. But thank you to everybody who's helping everyone through this. And they're kind of putting their own feelings aside at this time, and they will need a lot of support when this is over. So mental health matters. It really does. So I think you need to say, after that affirmation for thanking them, is I believe in myself. So when I'm saying this, it's not, I'm talking that you have to do this. So I believe in myself. I bounce back from disappointments. I am flexible. I adapt to changes and any challenges that are thrown at me. You might want to say, I view challenges as opportunities. I am resilient and I have courage to face life's challenges. So I hope that inspires you to make changes in your life and be positive. There's enough negative people out there, and we don't want to be like them. So I thought we would end with a Mind Bites mindfulness meditation. And this one I've chosen today is, I may have done it before, but I think I'm calling this one the Changing Seasons. Because changing seasons, life changes all the time. So we need to be in the mood of facing these changes. And this meditation helps you to face changes and challenges calmly. You'll feel calm and able to move forward positively. So I want you again, as everybody, we have our feet on the ground and we're really comfortable, and shoulders back. We've got to feel not a tension, but just settled into the chair. And I'm going to take a little glass of water. It is not a gin. Now I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to imagine yourself in a lovely garden. And this is very apt for me today because I got some beautiful flowers, and the scent and the colours were wonderful yesterday. I posted it up, so I'm going to kind of focus on that. But just imagine yourself in a beautiful garden. There are beautiful flowers all around. Take a moment to admire the glorious colours, the beauty of nature. Imagine your favourite flower. Smell that scent. Feel the softness of the petals. Now imagine the garden in the changing seasons. Spring. Nature is coming alive. Warmth is in the air. Sunlight opens up the buds and leaves, and the scent gets stronger in the flowers. Imagine the heat of the sun shining down on the flowers, opening the petals to face the warmth. Imagine the leaves turning from a luscious green to a pale gold, then dark red. Autumn leaves fall from the branches, and winter arrives, covering the ground with a dusting of snow. Now take a deep breath in through the nose, hold, and then exhale. Now as you take a deep breath in through the nose, imagine all the different seasons in the garden. And as you exhale, let tension leave your body and mind. Now breathe in again and imagine the changing seasons. You feel more positive. Say to yourself, I am positive. I am strong. I am flexible. I can face any challenge that life throws at me. Now take another deep breath in, hold, then exhale through the mouth. And you can now open your eyes and just stretch your arms, yawn if you like, just relax and shake your shoulders. Now I hope that meditation has helped you. That's just a couple of minutes, but it just calms you but also energizes you. And it's been wonderful again speaking to all of you, and thank you for watching and listening. I post it up and I share it on my YouTube channel, and I want to give virtual hugs to everybody and all the people who are still maybe alone in lockdown and isolating. Remember to give yourself a hug. You can always hug yourself. But sending out virtual hugs to everybody, just knowing that you're connecting with others, it feels good. It makes yourself feel good and others feel good. Now, I'll be back on, I was going to say Wednesday, this is Wednesday. The weeks are just flying in. So I'll be back on Friday, 10 o'clock. I don't have a topic yet. So if you want to private message me a topic that you'd like me to discuss, then I will see what I can do. And thank you again for watching, and have a fabulous day until I see and speak with you all on Friday. Thank you. Bye.